Welcome to W0NDERS TV show, the home of news. If it is your first time of stopping by or coming across my YouTube channel, you are highly welcome. Please, I beg you for a favor, smash on that red button that says subscribe. Beside that red button is a notification bell. The essence of that bell is for you to be updated or informed each time or day I upload a new video. My returning subscribers, those who keep on watching my videos each time I upload, I appreciate your presence. I appreciate your comments in all my videos, both negative and positive ones. Thank you.
Who's supposed to be part of this success story? To frustrate Chief Michael Zekome from giving him his best in this case. This case, he relatively done it on pro bono. Relatively did it on pro bono. Every strategy was deployed towards frustrating him, but he said no, because he's on a divine mandate. I want to appreciate him. I may not go into details, but I want to appreciate him so immensely for also believing in me too, and believing in my convictions and judgment too. I also appreciate so greatly the contribution of Her Excellency Mrs. Nnamdi Kanu'S, the wife of Nnamdi Kanu'S. Her words of encouragement, wise counseling, and also believing us throughout this terrific moment period. Even when those who are also supposed to be part of this success story, we are ferociously working against us, blackmailing us, doing things possible to chase us away from this case. This woman remains firm, remains strong in her convictions and believe in us. I must appreciate her. Also, my thanks also go to my friend and also my client, Chike Dozem. He's a gentleman who also believes in us. It was a very hard fight, but thank God today that we have achieved the victory, the long-awaited victory. I appreciate him too. I also want to appreciate my professional colleagues who were part of this story, this success story. The contribution of my erudite head of chambers, Barrister Mrs. Chinwumeche, cannot be overemphasized. I also want to mention Master Obara, Nemeke Jof, and of course Aloy Ejimako. Those who work tirelessly to ensure that we get to where we are today. Of course, I cannot conclude this piece without appreciating so immensely my wife, who has been there for me, for her prayers, and also my lovely children for their prayers. I cannot thank them all. My thanks also goes to the erudite, formidable media warriors, who has been there for us, who has been taking bullets for me in particular. When the enemies were on rampage, doing everything humanly possible to derail me, to distract me, they were taking the bullet for me. My thanks goes to, I will single two of them out to appreciate. Not that the others didn't contribute, they did excellent work. Because when they were taking this bullet, I was busy working. I never lost focus. I was giving my best, doing all things we can, working behind the scene to ensure that we get the best results. I will not forget to mention persons like Iken Guruago. He has done so marvelously well. I must appreciate him. I also appreciate Prince Darlington. They are there for us at every given time. They were there taking bullets for us. I must appreciate them. May they remain blessed. They are too numerous to mention. They are too numerous to mention, including Mushineke, who were there praying for us. Reverend fathers, bishops, Catholic priests, and call them, name them. Traditional worshippers who are also praying to ensure that we get to our today. I must immensely appreciate them. It is a time to appreciate those who work tirelessly to ensure that we get well to it, because I know that this is the end of the game, no matter what. You all were in court yesterday to hear from the court. Unfortunately, though, that the person of Attorney General of the Federation, regardless of that prejudice to his person and office is occupied, should have by yesterday honorably tendered his resignation as the Minister of Federation. Because he has exposed this country to ridicule. It's not in doubt that at the point Nnamdi Kanu was abducted in Kenya, because it's also important to emphasize, just like where I listed some people analyzing this morning. Court didn't say arrest. Court of Appeal in his judgment yesterday in the unanimous judgment didn't mention arrest. They agreed up with us in totality that Nnamdi Kanu was abduction. Abduction, kidnapping was featured prominently in the judgment of the court. They agreed with us because in the manner in which he was abducted in Kenya, he wasn't arrested. Now, and it was partial to the advice of the Attorney General of the Federation that the federal government sneak into another country to abduct a citizen without subjecting him to the extradition proceedings. And on that ground alone, the federal government, the Attorney General of the Federation should have been resigned honorably without being asked, without a further prompting. I am not contesting the fact they have right of appeal to Supreme Court. It's a constitutional right. But what is sacrosanct at this point in time is that they must wholly and in totality comply with the order of the Court of Appeal, which directed that Nnamdi Kanu should be released immediately. They will not be in breach of this order, in content of this order, and applying to Supreme Court for review or for appeal. They must comply without further ado. So it's expected, of course, they were called yesterday to when the judgment was read. But of course, unfortunately, I believe that the letter that Attorney General of Federation, I don't think he's conversant, or maybe he has the full gist of the judgment, of the fact of the judgment delivered yesterday. Because I believe he has had opportunity of reading the judgment of the court of yesterday. We won't be writing what he said yesterday. So the federal government is being called upon as quick as possible to comply with the order of court. Now, it's interesting to mention to the public, to the world, this argument was extensively canvassed in our various applications, in our application before the lower court, and also on appeal. Now, in 2016, there's a thesis that was captioned United Nations Office on Drug and Crime, country office in Nigeria, published a 691 page of thesis titled Cases and Materials on Extradition in Nigeria. I have the book. Look at the book. This is the book. They call it Cases and Materials on Extradition in Nigeria. Now, it will interest the press and the world to know that in this book, these cases and materials on extradition in law, the forward to this book was written by no person than learned Attorney General of the Federation. He wrote the forward. Now, you understand, me and you understand what forward means. When a forward is written on a book, that means you sanctioned. You have gone through the content of that book and you sanctioned the content. Now, I will tell you something now, because it's important for you to know. Now, in this book, it's at pages 4 to 5 of that book. The Attorney General that I mentioned to you, having sanctioned that book, critically condemned extraordinary rendition in this book. He critically condemned in page 4, 5. I can give you it's very, very bulky. Condemn extraordinary rendition. In his words, quote, listen to me carefully. In his words, the AG Federation Malami stated, it is easy to confuse extradition with rendition. Rendition is a general term for all procedures, including extradition, for returning wanted persons or aliens generally from a state. Unlawful or irregular forms of returning persons wanted for trial. Unlawful or irregular forms of returning persons wanted for trial or punishment include abduction. In his words, include abduction. That's what happened in this case. Abduction and so-called extraordinary rendition. Now he proceeded. Extraordinary rendition is a government-sponsored arrest. Are you with me? Kidnap and abduction of persons wanted, accused or convicted of a criminal offense, either to the state who sponsored the arrest or kidnap or abduction, or to a willing third-party state. Extraordinary rendition denies a person of the right to challenge his transfer to the requesting or receiving state. It involves the violation of the principle of international laws, especially where the persons transferred are subjected to torture. Are you with me? Or sham criminal charge or trial. The Legal Affair of 1984 is an example of an attempt at unlawful rendition. After a coup d'etat in 1983, the Federal Military Government of Nigeria requested the British government to surrender Umar Diko, a former Minister of Federation, alleged to have been involved in corrupt practices. Now, the facts of what happened in Diko's case is very clear to the world. It's a matter of common knowledge. The British government intercepted and refused to intercept and refused them taking him away from the UK. Now, this is the wordings of AG Federation. So you will tell me that it's not familiar with what extraordinary rendition means and the effect of it on the state. By so doing, this man has exposed the country to ridicule. And I can assure you one thing, because I'm in this case, I can assure you one thing. Some international courts where these matters are pending are waiting for court pronouncement for Nigerian courts to exhaust their legal remedies before they can embark on their own adjudication. They are waiting. And the pronouncement of Court of Appeal yesterday is apt on the point. It will entail further actions before the International Court. We also entail certain persons being blacklisted, certain persons being arrested somewhere on account of the gross violation of international laws. It will happen in the course of time. Now, yesterday someone asked about the damages payable, accruable on account of this violation of Nnamdi Kanu'S right. Because of course, Court of Appeal yesterday stated clearly that his right was grossly violated on account of the extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria. That may interest you to know that we have already filed an action before the Federal High Court, wherein we raised some fundamental issues. We have invited the court to interpret relevant sections of these conventions, charter, and theatres to determine whether the federal government is in breach of this law. Those questions have been answered in the affirmative yesterday, that the federal government is in breach of this law. That matter is pending before Honorable Justice Eko of Court Number 5 and is coming up for full hearing on the 14th day of December 2022. And in that case, what we'll be asking for now, the matters having been determined, major issues are raising before the court to determine upon, to pronounce upon, have been determined by Court of Appeal. We are asking for court to award damages in the sum of 50 billion against the federal government in compensation of as reparation for gross violation of Nnamdi Kanu'S right. So it's important to highlight this part. So the court didn't also condemn the executive recklessness yesterday. The court didn't stop at declaring that the lower court has no jurisdiction to defend the charge. The court also, the pronouncement of court yesterday, constitutes a further ban. You understand what I mean by constituting a further ban? So as it stands today, no Nigerian court will ever try Nnamdi Kanu. No Nigerian court will ever entertain any charge today, as far as this matter is concerned, or any other matter is concerned, without determining the manner in which he was brought into the country. And thankfully, yesterday the Court of Appeal have resolved that issue. That judgment is a watertight judgment. Without further ado, thank you so much. I can answer your questions if I have any further questions, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So if I recall properly, immediately after the judgment, I think lately the AGF issued a statement. And I think somewhere he said that what the court only dealt with was the issue of rendition. That they have 5 count charges which predates the rendition issue. And we were surprised. Is it not from the 5 count charges that you people jettisoned and filed an amended 15 count charge? So I don't know.
So let me
just
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Obviously, without prejudice to the person of Attorney General. It's important at this point for us to chronicle and also give you a trajectory of this case, because for you to understand how we started. Nnamdi Kanu was granted bail sometime on 14th of April 2017. I may not, that should be within that period. And the matter adjourned for trial to October 17, 2017. You and I, all of you here, the pressmen, witnessed what happened between 10th and 14th of September 2017. His premises was invaded on 10th, first invaded on 10th. 3 persons were killed by Nigerian soldiers. Then on 14th, they now wait for him. During this bloody invasion, over 28 innocent and unarmed civilians were murdered, were killed, brutally killed. Now, in an attempt, they weren't killed because they want to kill them. They were killed because they were desperately hunting for Nnamdi Kanu to kill him. Then, by sheer act of providence, Nnamdi Kanu not only escaped being killed. Now, it's elementary part of our law, legal jurisprudence, or criminal law, that when a person is facing a trial, assuming you are charged with the offense of stealing. Let me just bring it to a level you understand, and also for AG to understand too. Assuming you are charged with the offense of stealing, and in the course of enjoying bail granted by the court, you committed another offense, probably offense of armed robbery. There's no law that says that you will not be arrested on account of that offense, and it's easy for them, particularly when you are facing prosecution. They will simply, what Nigerian security agents does is for them to come to the court and wait for you on the day of trial. I will have cases of that nation, plethora of cases of that nation. They will come to that court, arrest you, or they will even file a fresh charge. Why they will arrest you is for them to interrogate you on the new offenses, then before they will file a fresh charge. Now, assuming without considering to the fact that the federal government actually wanted any form of prosecution in this case, would they have gone to Nnamdi Kanu's house on 14th of September to kill him? The answer is no. They were waiting for him to come to court on October 10th, October 17th, 2017, to continue his trial. And probably during that period, they will arrest him and investigate him on fresh offense, assuming if he had committed no offense unto law. You will investigate him on the fresh offenses, probably on 5 fresh charges. And Nnamdi Kanu was ready. He has announced, he has passed through pre-trial briefing and conference, preparatory for trial, fixed for 17th of October. Now, second question: had it been the federal government succeeded, God forbid, in killing Nnamdi Kanu on the 14th of September 2027, will we be talking about this Saturday? The answer is no. Now, Nnamdi Kanu, when he was first in Israel, state of Israel, he posted an affidavit of facts, stating the facts of what happened in his premises, how he escaped. And in that affidavit, which is now before the public, he made it very clear in that affidavit that he's ready to come back for his trial, but he needs protection from court. He needs court to assure him and give him protection, and assure him that he offers protection for him to come back for his trial. This affidavit was filed in court, stating, urging the court to take the application for court to understand, inquire into what happened in his premises on the 14th of September. It was filed in court sometime that same 2017. But the court didn't hear that application. It was still filed. He didn't hear that application till this year. And at subsequent adjournment, we kept on bringing the fact of that application before the court. That application was not heard until a few months back this year when it was brought to Nigeria. It was forcefully brought to Nigeria. Wasn't heard it. Now, Nnamdi Kanu is not in Kenya. He found himself in Kenya or part of Nigeria because of an desperate attempt by the federal government to assassinate him. The law is clear. This international laws when enumerated is clear. That now you want to arrest him, right? That law, the 5 count charge you're talking about, which was facing before an attempt was made at killing him, we have gone now. If at all they have submitted him to traditional proceedings in Kenya. I get the point I'm making now. Did you know? If they had subjected Nnamdi Kanu to extradition proceedings,
Then you will go through the proceedings, and at the end of the day, if the court in Kenya found him liable, then he has to come back to Nigeria to face his trial. Section 15 of the Extradition Act says that if he's coming back to Nigeria, he's going to face the trial on that 5-count charge. Now, because they didn't subject him to extradition proceeding, recognized under international laws and covenant and charter conventions, they abducted him, they kidnapped him in Kenya, then brought him to Nigeria. Now, what the court is saying, in view of what you have done, you cannot try him again. He cannot be tried, even on that 5 count, he cannot be tried again. That's what the court says. Because he cannot put something on nothing and expect it to stand. It must fall. The foundation has been spoiled. You cannot build on a shaky foundation. So that 5 charge he was facing before an attempt was made at killing him can no longer prevail in the circumstance. The court said, take him back. He has to go. Go back. As he stands today, he cannot face any charge. He's barred from being prosecuted in Nigeria in any court. Whether it's court in Adamawa, or court in Lagos, or court in Anambra, or court in Oburusuzo, or whatever you call them, or Maya. He cannot face any trial again. So, and I believe, and I want to believe too, that the Attorney General Federation is fully aware of this law. But I believe they are trying to play to the gallery. He cannot face any trial. And for them to salvage the remaining image of this country, if at all, is for them to immediately comply with the order of Court of Appeal. Secondly, don't recall too that the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention had on 20th day of June 2022 issued a communication to federal government after they have gone through the processes filed before a communication before them, directing the federal government to listen Nnamdi Kanu conditionally, and also to compensate him for gross violation of his right. The government turned a blind eye to that communication, and yesterday the Court of Appeal, though the Court of Appeal didn't make reference to that communication, but on their own findings, their judgment was basically relied upon based on the facts presented before them. Of course, you had the right judge, the Honorable Justice Nikitobi, who was specific and firm that he is not, that his judgment is based on what is before him. That he's not interested in what's being said in social media, here and there, what people are discussing over the social media, that they are giving, and he's giving his own judgment based on what matters before him. It was a 3-hour judgment, very, very erudite judgment, impeccable judgment, unassailable judgment of the Court of Appeal. A judgment that will stand the test of time. A judgment that has been able to resolve so many contentious issues. A judgment that has been able to resolve so many novel areas of laws has been put in place today, and I commend them so much. So it was based on facts before them. There was no politics there. There was no political solution there. There was nothing like, there was no extraneous influence whatsoever. It was based on facts and laws presented before them. And if you look at the judgment, if you listen to the judgment of the court, if you read the judgment of the court, you agree with me totally that these people, that if they are going to Supreme Court, I don't want that without prejudice to them, they are right. They can go to Supreme Court. But what we are saying is that before you take up any further step, just like what happened in the case of ASU and the federal government. ASU went to an appeal to challenge the order of commercial court. I mean, the court. Court of Appeal said no. You are coming to my court, eh? And who goes to put him or do what? Go and obey that order. Yeah. Because notice of appeal on appeal to Supreme Court cannot operate as a stay of execution. You must first of all release my client to me. Then before you go to Supreme Court, we'll come back there and sort ourselves out. That's fundamental. So I believe I've been able to highlight some of these fundamental issues that
Thank you so much, my wonderful viewers, for watching this video together with me from the beginning to the end. Like I said before, if you like what you see here, if you like what I do in this platform, As you have finished watching this video, please hit that red button that says subscribe and put on your notification bell to all notifications. In that way, you'll be able to know when I upload a new video. Share my videos, leave your comments in the comment section constructively. Until I meet your way again in my next video, I still remain your Nnamdi's TV show. Bye-bye.